2 months after the previous mission, Secret Agent Ethan receives a classified message from US President Erica. In the message, she talks about a dangerous entity. It is a self-aware rogue AI, meaning a computer system capable of understanding itself and thinking. It can break cybersecurity and even predict potential future events. The entity is corrupting digital information worldwide to make humans fight each other. It has even created a doomsday cult working for the end of humanity. Its fanatics are infiltrating the most important institutions. To stop the entity, it is necessary to find its source code, but only one person knows it, Gabriel. No one knows how to find him. Ethan has a key that can completely erase the entity. If it is used, all cyberspace will be destroyed and the world will move toward a new war. Ethan is hiding because he fears that if the government gets the entity, it might be used against other countries. Erica tells Ethan to surrender, and at the same time, the tape destroys itself. Later, Ethan meets his old friend Benji. Together, they reach a secret room in a subway tunnel where Luther is waiting. Luther has created a special poison capsule virus, which, if combined with the source code, can destroy the entity. But first, they need to find Gabriel. In an Austrian jail, Gabriel's old partner Paris is being escorted by agents Jasper and Theo. Suddenly, 2 guards take out tasers and attack. A fight starts and Paris jumps in. She uses the guards to defeat Jasper and Theo. After several punches and kicks, Jasper is unconscious, but Theo pulls out his gun. Paris takes the gun and tries to fire, but the guards remove their masks. It turns out to be Ethan and Benji. Paris remembers that Ethan had forgiven her in the previous mission. Theo hears Ethan saying, "There is no side now. The world situation is the biggest, and they must work together." Theo agrees not to arrest them. Ethan asks Paris where Gabriel is. A few nights later, Ethan infiltrates an important party in London. 2 agents are ready to catch him, but Grace stops them. She takes their radios and guns. Grace throws a gun to Ethan and takes the other herself. The agents cannot save themselves and are easily knocked out by both. Grace explains that the director of Ethan's agency sent her to find him, but now she believes Ethan is the only one who can save the world, so she wants to help him instead of capturing him. As they leave the room, 2 men suddenly come and sedate them. Later, Ethan and Grace open their eyes and find themselves chained. In front of them is a table with torture tools. A guard comes and punches Ethan, but Gabriel says Luther's life is in danger if Ethan does not obey him. Gabriel tells Ethan he must find a submarine called Sea Stowell, which is undetectable by sonar. Years ago, a virus sabotaged its system, and it sank. The same virus later became the entity. Since the submarine was frozen at the bottom of the sea for years, the entity cannot hack it now. Therefore, the virus copy in this system can be taken as the source code, but Gabriel does not intend to stop the entity. He wants to control it. The most shocking part is that the virus creator was Ethan himself. Years ago, he stole the code for the government to save his wife, so Ethan is actually responsible for the entity. Gabriel sees something strange in Ethan's mouth. Ethan has hidden poison in a fake tooth. Ethan bites the tooth and starts foaming. Gabriel orders Ethan to be revived, but Ethan reveals the poison is fake and kills both guards immediately. Grace takes the keys from the guards and frees herself. Another guard comes, but Gabriel stops him, saying Ethan must live. He orders Ethan to shoot Grace and leaves. Grace and Ethan fight together. Grace is almost killed, but Ethan takes tools from the table and kills both enemies. Gabriel tries to escape, but Paris, Theo, and Benji surround him. Paris wants to shoot him, but Theo says he must be kept alive. Gabriel successfully escapes. In another room, Ethan finds a strange box. Paris explains it is the communication device for the entity. Despite Paris's warning, Ethan sits in the box and connects it to his brain device. The hand and foot restraints close, and the entity starts talking to him. The entity shows Ethan many visions that shake his mind, including a mysterious vault. It wants Ethan to open the vault and let it inside. If Ethan does not cooperate, in 4 days the entity will seize the world's nuclear arsenal and destroy humanity. It also shows that Gabriel will soon kill Luther. The entity releases Ethan from the box. Ethan quickly writes all the information and tells the team to find the submarine's location. He immediately runs to save his friend Luther. Meanwhile, Luther wakes up and finds a dead nurse near his bed. Gabriel had trapped Luther in a strange chamber and planted a bomb. He had first stolen the poison capsule and killed the nurse. Ethan arrives. Only 3 minutes are left for the bomb. The bomb is powerful enough to destroy the whole city. Luther disarms the bomb, saving the city, but he will die himself. Ethan cannot leave his friend, but Luther says there is no choice and forces him to go. Ethan runs, and the bomb explodes behind him. Luther dies. As Ethan reaches the street, Jasper and his people surround him and take the key. At headquarters, Director Kittredge confronts Ethan and explains the entity has already infiltrated nuclear arsenals of several countries. A board meeting is held, including President Eric. Ethan explains his mission history and says he needs the key and a ship to reach the submarine. The agency objects. They do not want to destroy the entity. Ethan argues that there is no choice left. Nuclear weapons are under its control. At the same time, an alarm goes off. A country has lost control of its nuclear arsenal. Erica gives Ethan 72 hours to solve the problem, or he will be held responsible. While going to the helicopter, Ethan is given a mysterious envelope. Later in the Northern Pacific, Ethan is dropped on a carrier ship and he gives the envelope to the Admiral. The Admiral opens it and finds only a date. He realizes it is the same day he and Erica lost their loved ones because no officer takes risks. The carrier passes through dangerous waters where a war could start, but the Admiral is willing to take the risk that higher officers feared. Ethan tells Grace about SOSUS. It is a sound surveillance system, meaning network cables placed under the sea that can capture sounds from everywhere. If any important event happens underwater, SOS can immediately give its exact location. Since the submarine crew's bodies were found by Inuit fishermen, Ethan and the team estimate that the SOS station which recorded the incident is at St. Matthew Island, Bering Sea. Going there could create the risk of war with Russia. Also, Ethan must meet his team at the exact time and place to get it out of the ice safely. The Admiral is a little suspicious, but he has no better plan. On the island, Benji and the team meet William. William has been running the SO station for the past 30 years. He is a legendary coder who has been warning about the entity for decades, but no one listened. William wants to help, but his house has already been surrounded by Russian mercenaries who are now coming out. They are also looking for the lost submarine. William tries to explain that he does not have the necessary coordinates and he only has disks, but there are no machines to read them because higher authorities removed everything to hide the truth about the submarine sinking. The Russians still expect William to make a reader and provide the information in 1 hour. In the helicopter, the pilot tells Ethan that Russian ships are visible in the area and the team has not yet sent the coordinates. If they fly too long, fuel will run out. Ethan asks for 5 more minutes. Then, 2 Russian jets fly in front of them as a warning. Ethan immediately decides and jumps into the frozen water. As the helicopter flies away, Ethan is suddenly surrounded by divers and taken to USS Ohio, but Ethan meets the submarine captain and gives him a necklace sent by the Admiral to convince the captain to help. He explains that he is waiting for the team to send the coordinate. He tells the captain to raise the antenna, which might show their location to the Russians. While waiting, they watch the radar, and Ethan notices that a Russian submarine had already reached the island an hour earlier. The crew shows Ethan a special pressure suit, which can take him very deep underwater. However, it has never been tested below 300 feet. To save air, Ethan must descend quickly. This can have effects: mental confusion, shivering, even seizures. He has only 20 minutes to reach the decompression chamber, or he will die. Ethan practices to increase his breathing capacity. The captain warns that the antenna will be used one last time and then turned off. Meanwhile, William builds the reader with Benji's help. Everyone is busy, so William tells them he destroyed the disk with the coordinates, but he memorized it. He writes it on paper and hides it in his watch, secretly giving it to his wife to feed the dogs. Grace, hearing this, agrees to help. A female mercenary and Grace are standing behind. William's wife hits the mercenary with a shovel and Grace jumps in to fight. The mercenary fires a gun. The rest of the team sees this as a signal and jumps into the fight. There is a lot of punching and shooting. During the fight, coal from the chimney falls and sets the house on fire. Everyone keeps fighting and William quickly sends the coordinates over the radio. On the submarine, a crew member attacks Ethan, who is part of the entity cult. The fight begins and equipment is damaged. Finally, the captain grabs the coordinates. Ethan rolls the enemy's face into a machine, but the man keeps attacking. Then another crew member comes from behind and knocks him out. At the house, Theo and Paris are mostly in the fight. Benji helps, but a bookshelf falls on him and the mercenary leader. Paris is caught, so she kills a guard and shoots his companion. Theo is freed and fires at Paris's enemy. The Russian mercenaries realize that William is sending the coordinates, so they leave and allow their submarine to receive the signal. William and the team leave the building safely. Grace goes with William's wife, who teaches her how to use the sledgehammer and help deliver all the pressure chamber equipment to Ethan using dogs. On the submarine, the captain tells Ethan that the coordinates point near Africa. Ethan thinks this is wrong and searches for the exact opposite point, near their current location. William had sent it backward to trick the Russians. As the submarine reaches the spot, Ethan puts on the suit. The crew reminds him of the time limit. For pressure support, the chamber is filled with water. Ethan feels a little dizzy and immediately starts swimming. Then the Russian submarine appears in front and almost collides with him. But Ethan hides on its side and moves forward undetected. Ethan uses several flares and searches until he finds the Sevastop submarine. As he enters, water rushes in, and the submarine moves because of the weight. Ethan connects his device to the generator to restore power, and finds several bodies that were not removed when the submarine sank. In the next room, he finds several torpedoes. He must walk very carefully or they could fire. This is more difficult because the submarine keeps shaking as the water fills it. Finally, Ethan reaches the system chamber and opens the computer hatch with a special key, stealing the hard drive. As Ethan returns, he realizes the submarine is completely tilted and could sink even deeper at any moment. Ethan has to swim very carefully in the submarine to avoid the torpedoes. The torpedoes keep moving constantly. One torpedo blocks a door, so Ethan has to exit through the torpedo tube. As he swims toward the tube, the torpedoes move around him and almost trap him, but after some effort, Ethan struggles and gets out. It takes a lot of effort, but he also manages to open the tube's hatch. In the next hatch, there is a torpedo. Ethan opens the next hatch and finds it empty. But when he tries to get out, he realizes his suit doesn't fit properly. Ethan has no other choice. He tears the suit, exposing his skin to the cold water. The tube also starts filling with water, but Ethan gathers courage and gets out, just as the submarine is about to sink completely. His helmet gets stuck on the side of the submarine, so he has to leave it too. The submarine sinks into deep water. Ethan swims only in his shorts with the hard drive hanging around his neck. No matter how much he swims, he cannot reach the surface. His body twists in severe pain from the cold and lack of oxygen. Then, Grace comes and pulls Ethan out of the water. She gives him CPR and saves him by putting him in a pressure chamber. Soon after, on the plane, Ethan tells William that he remembers him from an old mission. Ethan realizes that transferring William to the Arctic is his responsibility, but William is grateful because this new job gave him a chance to meet his wife. The team discusses the entity's plan and concludes that the entity has a hiding place before it can launch a nuclear attack. William thinks the safest place is the Doomsday Vault, a top-secret, fully shielded, solar-powered data server. Ethan realizes this is the same place the entity showed him in visions. He guesses Gabriel will already be there. They need to recover Luther's poison capsule and combine it with the source code. This combination will trap the entity in a 5D optical data drive, but they must extract the data drive at the exact right time so the entity cannot escape and the nuclear attack can be stopped. To do this, they first need to let the entity enter the vault. So they have to give the hard drive to Gabriel so he can make the combination, and they can stop him at the last moment. In Africa, the team passes through several tunnels until they reach the vault chamber. Ethan hides the others and moves ahead alone until he finds the nuclear bomb. Gabriel appears and shows arrogance. Ethan pretends to be sad and gives him the hard drive. At the same time, Jasper suddenly comes from behind and surprises Gabriel with a gun. Several agents sneak out and capture the team as well. Gabriel's assistant is also trapped. He activates the bomb, which will explode in 20 minutes. Kittredge also comes and wants to learn how to control the entity from the hard drive. Ethan notices something moving in the shadows. Gabriel suddenly gives orders. His people fire, and a shootout begins. Everyone hides. Gabriel runs toward his jeep, takes the poison capsule, and escapes while bullets fly. Ethan jumps into another jeep and chases him. Kittredge and Jasper also follow. The car speeds through tunnels. Ethan's jeep gets hit and crashes. Luckily, he is not hurt and sees Gabriel running toward a biplane. Ethan almost gives up when he sees the assistant also escaping the plane. He grabs a metal rail and climbs. Ethan reaches the pilot seat and punches the assistant, knocking him out. The plane begins to fall and roll. Ethan holds the assistant's body and removes the seatbelt, bringing Gabriel's plane under his control. Gabriel tries crazy tricks, but Ethan always grabs new spots and hides under the wing. Gabriel thinks he has fallen. When Gabriel flies normally, Ethan approaches and punches him. However, Gabriel does not go unconscious and tries tricks again. Ethan grabs the seatbelt. The propeller starts malfunctioning and Gabriel has to fly normally. He tries to stab Ethan, but Ethan kills him, takes the poison capsule, and punches Gabriel again. He also disconnects the seatbelt. As the plane turns, Gabriel fails. The wind hits his groin and head on the metal and he dies instantly. Ethan tries to regain control of the plane, but the propeller is on fire. He jumps with a parachute, but it also catches fire. Falling very fast, Ethan puts the poison pill into the hard drive, just as Grace removes the 5D data drive and William cuts the bomb's cables. Power goes out worldwide and the nuclear weapons stop. Grace sees the data drive and realizes the plan worked. William and the team come to them. They confirm that they escaped the bomb and the damage was minimal. Soon, power returns, and Erica calls to confirm that the entity has been destroyed. In the mountains, Ethan safely lands using a backup parachute. He hears a voice in the hard drive. Luther's final farewell. The message was meant to self-destruct. When Kittredge and Jasper find Ethan, the hard drive and poison capsule are completely useless. Kittredge is angry, but Jasper congratulates Ethan on his success. Sometime later, the team reunites with Ethan. Grace tells him the date so he can track the entity with the drive. Then the group splits up to live their lives in the shadows. So friends, I hope you liked this video. If you liked the video, then like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Till then, bye.